Happy new moon, everybody. Hello, hello, and welcome to this first new moon of the year, the new moon in Capricorn. Welcome to the Shakti spiral. I am Shakti, the high priestess for the One Energy, the One Ascension technique, and the Shakti spiral. I am so excited. If this is the first time that you have gathered with us, welcome. If you have been a true blue every new moon here, thank you for being here. Thank you for being with me. Your energy, just connecting with all of you, is such a blessing and gift to me. And I want to thank all of you, first of all, for being here, for showing up, for attending these live sessions with me, and for just giving of your love and your spirit. Such a beautiful time when we can all get together and we can gather together and we can connect. If you can connect on the chat, that's beautiful, because we have so many beautiful energies and people in the community that get online and they chat, and there's so much love and support to be shared. This month, we start off with a bang with the first full moon, just the super full moon, and then we have another one at the end of the month, a blue moon. There's so many things going on. The energies are very, I like to say in the sisterhood when we were talking, they're very palpable. It feels very, you can just feel it. You feel that there's something buzzing. There's a heartbeat going on. And right now that we are in the new moon in Capricorn, we have these energies. They're very earthy. They're very grounding, and we may need that, especially because we literally kind of took off, right? We took off out the doors when the new year hit. And a lot of us, there's been a lot of feelings of like, okay, trying to find your footing, trying to find what it is that you really want to focus on, what it is that you really want to be doing. Some have felt actually very tired. Some have felt energized. Some have felt maybe a little bit full of a little bit trepidation going forward with the things that the soul is calling you to. So this year, let's talk a little bit about that while we're waiting for some time for some more people to get on. This year is about mastery. If in numerology, there is a study that speaks about the numbers and the vibrations of numbers. So if you add 2 plus 0 plus 1 plus 8, you get 11. And 11 is a very powerful number. They call it a master number. Not only does it vibrate at a really high vibration. I love the number 11, and we always see 11, 11. Everybody goes, okay, what does that mean? It kind of is a telling for something big. The angels, your guides, ancestors, God, goddess are speaking to you. And so we kind of pay attention to numbers. We pay attention to sequences. It's kind of ingrained in us. And numbers are, they transcend language. So when we look at the mastery of 11, we are going to go into a lot of powerful, momentous shifts. We're going to go into a lot of powerful changes. And a lot of what we did last year was kind of laying the foundation for this year. So if you went through a lot of people went through a lot of challenges and uprooting and shifting and being pushed and being called to do things that were really out of not the normal everyday flow or out of the comfort zones. And we're going to continue with being out of the comfort zone this year. However, the foundation has been set. There is a theme that kind of happened last year that is going into this year with a sense of mastery now. You know what you need to do, or if you're still questioning what it is specifically, you're at least questioning what it is specifically you're supposed to do. So I want to take a moment to, first of all, honor you for being here, to honor you for having the courage and the determination and the willingness to put aside the mundane, to be here in this powerful space with me, to share of your magic, to share of your spirit, to share of your love. And I want to honor you for having the courage to step forward and to continue your path, to continue it with a true sense of self-awareness, a true sense of purpose and consciousness. It's not easy. It's not easy being the way showers. It's not easy being the light bringers. It's not easy being the ones who have to sometimes walk a path alone. It's not easy to say, you know what? I need to listen to this call and heed what my spirit is saying. it's not easy to always listen to your intuition when there's no logical reason or finding for what it is you're being called to do. But more times than not, when you listen to your intuition, when you listen to those things that call you and you answer them, even if they don't make sense, hardly do you ever regret it. Okay. Hardly do you ever regret when you listen to your intuition, even if there's nothing there to explain why you feel what you feel. So thank you. Thank you, first of all, for sharing of that, for having the courage. This night, this momentous night, as we look at the stars, as we look at the moon and her beautiful, dark, seated energy, I really want you to take a moment as we gather together tonight, as we do the work that we're going to be doing, to ask yourself, where am I? What do I really need to put my focus this year? There's probably so many seeds that you want to plant this year, right? So many things that you really want to put your focus on. So I want you to give love and attention to those things that will fuel you, that will feed and nourish your soul, and that will bring you the most joy. Okay. So let go of that to-do list, the I have to's. Let go of that for a moment and ask yourself throughout this evening, what really feeds you, what really nourishes you and brings your soul joy. Okay. So now as we create sacred space, let me go over to the chat real quick. Oh, hello, everybody. Hello for being here. Love all of you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you. Thank you for being here. So I love that you're in the chat. Keep going with that. So what we're going to do right now is we're just going to set our sacred space. If you've already done that perfectly, perfect. But I am going to, again, got some serious sage. It has been an amazing, Januaries are always amazing for me. I celebrated my 25th year anniversary with Mr. Wallace. To give some of this to you. We were married January 2nd, 1993. So to those who've gone before and to those who go after. We were married 25 years ago, and so we had a wonderful celebration. Little we know that, most of our children are born, well, half of them anyways, are born in January. We have one of my daughters whose birthday is actually tomorrow, and my son's at the end of the month, and Mr. Wallace's is actually, we just celebrated his birthday too. So January is a month of celebration, and I want to continue that celebration and share that vibration with all of you, because it is a time to celebrate, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. So as I'm putting out this beautiful sage, let's go ahead and burn some sweetgrass. Now what I say, Energy 101, is when you have taken something out, there is a void that has been created. And this is something to remember when you're doing energy work, when you're clearing space in your home. You've saged and you've cleared out the muck. You've cleared out the things that don't fit, that don't work. But you've created a void and a vacuum. And if you don't intend that space be filled with something or fill it with something, all of the energies and whatever hap chance energies can come back. So what you're going to do is intend your space after it is cleared, what it is you would like for it to have, what it is you would like to fuel your soul as you create your sacred space, because it's sacred to you. Not everybody has the same idea of what sacred space should feel and look like. So here's some sweetgrass to invite and invoke in just sweetness and harmony and love and appreciation and celebration. Okay. Before we get started with anything more, I want to just create a circle. We do this, if you're new, we do this every month when we get together. And why we do this every ritual is because it's important to ground your energies, to really solidify your space, to create a energetic barrier so that influences and just energetic presence and just anything around kind of has its own barrier and boundary, so that when you create this momentous energy shift and going into what you want to create for yourself. And this is what we do with magics. It's important to set a sacred space because you're creating something very sacred, very holy, and you're connecting with something of a higher vibration. It isn't just something mundane. So when we go into these experiences and we go into these rituals, we do them with a sense of purpose and a certain consciousness and awareness. And we also do this for protection, for energetic protection. So that as we are opened in our centers, in our energetic centers. We have the protection from our guards, our I was like our guards, our guardians, our angels, all of those, our ancestors, all of those divinities, all of those sacred connections that we make. So we also call in the elements, which is important because we are made up of all of the elements. So what I'm doing right now is I'm anointing. If you have some anointing oil, go ahead and anoint yourself. I anoint my chakras. What I use, my hands, my wrists, my pulse points. So as your heart is beating, as you're pulsing the energy, you can really also help with that in that space. Okay. So, oh, hello. Thank you, Tracy. Oh my gosh. And a happy birthday to Chris. I know Chris Ashburn is celebrating her birthday today, and we are so honored that you would spend some of your time with us. So happy birthday, Chris. We love you. Okay. So I want you to go ahead, first of all. This wrap, I am so sorry. I'm like tugging at it. It is just all tangled. So I sat down. It just kind of got tangled. And so if you see me kind of messing with it, that's why. It's okay. So go ahead and close your eyes. Let all the stresses just melt away, whether it be tangled up wraps, whether it be just the day. Just go ahead and close your eyes. And I just want to express again, thankfulness. This is just really important going into the new year. You can't get enough thankfulness or gratitude. So just as you take a moment to just be here, make sure that you are present in this moment, here and now with me. With your eyes closed. We'll take some couple deep breaths together, okay? Just inhale. And as you inhale, call all of your energy back to you from all places. Hold it. And as you exhale, release any energy that doesn't serve for your highest good or your highest interest. Again, inhale. Hold it. Feeling your energy just gather. And as you exhale, release any tension, any worry or concern you may have. One last cleansing breath. Inhale. Feeling your centers, your energy get stronger. Hold it. Hold it. And exhale. Really being present, aligning to truth, aligning to your power. And with your eyes still closed, I want you to picture all of us, wherever we may be around the world, whether we're live or present in this video or whether we're watching the recording, we're all sitting in a great big circle. And in this circle, only love, only the highest good is allowed. And as we sit, wherever we may be, all over the world, people watching from different countries, just allow yourself to feel your own power, your own space as you connect with everybody else. Focusing in your heart space, imagine a beautiful spiral that comes out of your heart chakra. It can be green, it could be pink, it could be any color. Normally, pink and green are associated with the heart chakra, but it could be any color that immediately comes to mind. And watch it grow bigger and bigger until it engulfs all of your body. Now that we're all sitting in this great big circle, picture the person to your left and extend this spiral energy with them. Watching it connect with their spiral energy, they receive it through their left side. And as it connects with them, engulfs all of their beautiful energy, it releases through their left into the person sitting on their left. And the person sitting on their left receives it on their right. And so it goes clockwise, around and around. Everybody connecting. Everybody connecting and sharing this beautiful energy until you receive it through your right side. Notice the colors, the vibrancy. Allow it to connect with you as we've created the sacred circle. And in this space, we call in the element, the direction of the east, to the sacred, mighty winged ones, element of air, where the sun rises at the dawning of a new day, where ingenuity and power of thought begin. We call you now, come and be part of our circle. We call to the direction of the south, element of fire, to the fire breathers and the fire walkers, to the Kundalini energy, the serpent that kisses the sands, the hot desert winds that blow. We call to the people nations of the south and we say, come now and be part of our circle. And to the direction of the west, element of water, to intuition and gestation, to the water keepers and the water holders, the record keepers of the waters, Pachamama's sacred fluids, to the people nations of the west, we call you now, come and be part of our circle. To the direction of the north, element of earth, the power of manifestation, Pachamama herself, all of the ancient ones who have walked her before us and those who will walk after us, to the people nations of the north, where all things come to true manifestation. We call you now, come, be part of our circle. We call now to our divine guardians and guides, to our ancestors, to Great Spirit, Divine All-Mother. We call to the Divine One energy to surround all of us, to flow through us, to anchor us into this time and space and into no time, no space, where all things come together. We call you now, come and bless us as we begin this sacred gathering. Be here now. And so we say, aho, aho, and so it is. And blessed be. So as we begin this mighty shift, everything good over here? Everyone good? We have some family in the room. I wanted to talk a little bit about the idea of intentions. If you've set goals, January is a powerful time that we set intentions for the year. It's a time with the Gregorian calendar that we go, okay, it's the new year. It's a powerful time to new you, new me, all of us setting our goals and really focusing on the prize. And the prize is whatever, fill in the blank for you. But here's something I'm going to pose to you. Supposing there was nothing you needed to work on. Sure, it'd be nice to say, yeah, a couple of pounds or eating better or cleaner or healthier. But isn't that something you really work on as you go throughout the year anyways? You're really kind of becoming conscious of it. What I'm saying to you is there's an idea that we always have to improve ourselves and improve ourselves. And sometimes it's about remembering ourselves. Sometimes it's about not trying to be something out there, but discovering in here. Sometimes it's about understanding that we can believe we are flawed, or we can believe we are absolute perfection. And people say perfection in the imperfection, but somebody told us something wasn't perfect, right? We didn't grow up. We didn't come out of, in utero. We didn't come out believing that we were imperfect. I look at my grandchildren, my two grandchildren. I'm blessed with these beautiful twin grandchildren, a boy and a girl. And they absolutely believe they are perfection. And there's no doubt in their mind. And we don't tell them otherwise because we honestly see them as perfection. So what happens between that time and where we go after? When we're in this space where we're like, okay, my gosh, I put on a little bit of pounds, or I got to go up a size, or, oh my gosh, I'm not organized, or I'm not committed to this, or I really need to do this thing that I keep saying I need to do, but I'm not doing it. Wonder why. There are things that call us and there are things that are different. Now, this is not to be mistaken from when your soul calls you to make changes, or we think of them as changes. This is the stuff that keeps us feeling like there's something we need to work on, something we need to fix. Okay. Now, habits are just merely shifting perspective. And this can be radical for some people, because a lot of people, even people that I know, even myself in some areas, believe that you constantly need to improve. You constantly need to be pushing the bar, right? It's never about just settling. And while I agree that is true, it's about the consciousness that you feed and you pull into it. And that is, what if you were already perfect? What if it was just about remembering that you were? What would that look and feel like for you? If you are called to do something, it happens because you naturally, organically move in that direction. If it's something you feel you have to do, but you haven't, maybe you really want to look at whether it feeds your soul or not. Maybe you want to look at whether or not it's the right timing, because there is a law of gestation. Everything has a gestation period. If it's something that you need to maybe reevaluate. So I pose that to you now, because a lot of us put ourselves under tremendous amounts of pressure, tremendous amounts of stress going out the gate for a new year. We have this excitement and this momentum. Well, we also have an opportunity to see ourselves in a new light. And when we do that, we also give permission for others to be who they authentically are. Now, let's talk about the life path, the life purpose. I was asking, we're sitting around the table just the other day, and I was talking to my family, and I was saying, what is one thing? I pretty much was aware of the answer, but I wanted to ask them to kind of validate what it is that I was kind of working on in my meditations. And that is, what is one thing that you really want to know, really want to understand or uncover about your life? And what I got was, why are we here? Why am I here? What is my life purpose? What is my path? Even people who are walking their path still can ask that question, because there has to be something more. It has to look like this. Or we compare our life paths and purposes with others, because that's how we gauge things, by comparison. And we're really learning to not do that anymore. We're learning to condition ourselves to just look at our own field of consciousness. However, it doesn't always work that way. So that is a huge thing. So when you're called to make a change, and when I say by called to make a change, it's something that your soul doesn't let you forget. It's something that you wake up sometimes at night, or you have epiphany moments or aha moments, or you just think, I want to do this. And you take the steps to just do it organically. It's not a have to. It is a I must. There is no other choice. And that feels different. So I would pose here, as we go into tonight and we let go of the lists. Okay, I know that we all have ideas of what we want our lives to look like, and that is beautiful. But sometimes our lives can look wholly different. So I'll give you an example. At one time, I wanted to be an FBI agent. I was going to college to get my degree, and I was going to set up to go to Quantico, Virginia. Really. Now look what I'm doing today. I was doing it because I felt there was a need. I should do this. This is something that I should focus on. And my life changed. I had these ideas. I had these plans for my life. And I met Mr. Wallace, and my life changed, and absolutely for the better. At least I say so. So we can plan our lives. We can plan to say, this is what it has to look like. This is what it has to be. But your soul is going to show you something different if it's not what you're supposed to be fully doing. Now, it doesn't mean that you don't get experience from everything along the way, but it also means that maybe there's something you haven't seen yet. And I can honestly tell you that was totally off my radar. I had no plans to get married or have children. So I have 4 children, by the way. So for those of you who don't know, so I can say, yes, this is my life. This is what I am planning. But your spirit may have other plans in mind. So let's do that. Planning for absolutely on track. And give yourself permission, even if it's just for this hour with me, to see yourself as absolute perfection, because I see you that way. That's all that there is. Okay? So go ahead and close your eyes. And just take a deep breath and just let what I say absorb. If something doesn't resonate, just let that go. Just be here now with me. Be here with each other. Breathing together. I want you to have your eyes closed, looking up and in towards your third eye. And I want you to feel your pulse. Feel that central pulse that creates your life, that ensures you're living here. Feel your pulse. And again, once again, connect to your heart. And using the pathway of the chakras, let's travel up from our heart chakra space to our throat, to our third eye, to our crown chakra. And imagine a beautiful spiraling staircase that starts to appear, and we ascend it. Notice your spiral staircase as you go upwards very easily. Notice texture, color, the size of it. Is it a narrow staircase? Is it a big winding staircase? Just notice what you notice. As you get to the top, there's a beautiful door, ornate or simple, however you choose. Step through that door. And what we find here is a pathway that leads to the Hall of Records, where our soul's journey, all of its journeys, are housed and kept. Walking down this path, you see this big, beautiful building that is so enormous, there isn't an end to it. And at the front of this door, a sacred guide awaits you. And this guide is very familiar. Somebody who instinctually you even feels like family. Greet your guide as your guide greets you. And as you step through the doorway, you notice many halls. It's beautiful. So beautiful. There are materials made up of these halls that don't even exist here on this planet. Notice them. And there's one door that is open. And as you step through this door, you see yourself out in a big, huge opening, a field of just beauty. And this big, beautiful light shines there like an orb that just suspends from air. With your question, am I on my path, or what is my path? Or if you have another question, similar, your own wording. Ask it now. If it comes in a feeling, if it comes in words, if it comes in symbols, allow the sphere of infinite wisdom to answer you. Allow immense love to shower over you as you receive information that pours into every cell, every component in your body, in your soul, in your energy field. Allow it to just absorb now. Ask this sphere to show you why you are here. This sphere of light is part of you. It is the core of your soul. Therefore, it is all-knowing to your path. So trust what you receive. Allow that information to come to you. Allow yourself to be one with this sphere. And thanking this moment, blessing this moment. You thank the sphere and turn with your guide and walk down the hallway as you go through the door. Out of this big, beautiful space. And you find yourself in the hallway again. There's one more thing that needs to be shown to you. Now, this thing is something that has been hidden from your understanding, but it is now time to be revealed to you. Before you go through the next door, ask the question, show me what it is that I am missing and haven't really seen fully. What is it that I have not seen fully yet? What am I missing? And as you walk through this next door, this space holds the answer and will show you through a scenery. It changes. Through words. Is there somebody inside this room? Whatever comes immediately to you, if it's a feeling, if you don't even see anything and you feel it more, allow it to show exactly what it needs to show to you. Now, thanking this space, thanking what showed up, go through this door, leaving this room, back into the hallway with your guide, who stands there. And as you look at your guide, you notice the eyes are very familiar. Ask this guide to attend to you tonight as you dream, so that you can really understand what it is that you were given, what it is that you experienced, and to assist you if you need assistance for the continuing days, months, year. And as you walk towards the entrance of this big, beautiful building, feel light, feel exuberant, knowing that you received exactly what you needed. And all of it is perfection. And as you leave this building, walking down the steps, thank your guide for being there. Walking the path again towards your beautiful door. Allow yourself to just take in everything. Take in this feeling. Take in this love. It goes with you. It is part of you. And as you come to your door and go through your door and down your staircase again, spiraling downward, feel empowered. Feel safe and feel secure in knowing that you are exactly what you need to be to live your life of purpose with purpose. Now traveling down that staircase through your crown chakra, down through your third eye, down through your throat, back again into your heart. Allow the truth of what you received this night to solidify within you, to become part of you. Again, in every facet of your being, let it meld with you now. And when you're ready, go ahead and open your eyes, moving your body, moving your wrists, moving your feet, your legs, your hips, rotating your neck, your shoulders, your hands. What experiences did you have? Did you get what you needed? I intend that each of you did. And if you feel like there was maybe some things that you weren't sure about, that is the opportunity to go deeper with this. You can in dream state. You have a guide now that will help you, but also trust your instincts, trust your intuition, trust what you get. Sometimes it is a very small whisper. It isn't something big. It isn't a big grandiose thing. Maybe it's one thing that is many one things that leads to something big. Maybe it's one step. Maybe it's a move. Maybe it's staying and seeing new opportunities. Maybe it's looking at your current situation from a different perspective and with new eyes. It can be anything. And here's the thing. Sometimes just the shift in perspective, simply what like I offered you tonight, that you are perfection. And even though we love to believe that, sometimes it's a really challenging thing to actually receive. But if you can give yourself the gift of receiving it, even if it's just for 10 minutes, I would love the hour, but if it's just for 10 minutes, you have given yourself a gift of deep unconditioning from this current hive world we are in right now, this current state of being, where the world would have you believe differently. So what did you receive? Beautiful clarification. I love it. Clarification is huge because sometimes as we're on our path and we're not very sure, maybe we are sure, but we come up with things that challenge us. It's beautiful to have that reference of clarification because there isn't a doubt, right? There isn't a moment that we need to go, okay, I think this is it. I felt this was it. I got this, but now I'm not sure. You can really go back to that reference of being sure. So accept that gift that you received tonight. Let's go to the chat real quick. Oh my gosh, Karina, I love it. She said that Bass was her guide. Love it. Betty, certainty. What a powerful gift. I love certainty. And so it is, Bookie. I love it. She's saying get off her own way. Beautiful. I love it. I love it. Selena is saying that she got a feeling that she's starting over because she has starting at a whole new level. And that is beautiful. And here's the thing. Starting over doesn't mean starting at square one. It can just simply mean revising where we were at, shifting perspective. So I love that. You got that. So here is that opportunity to, as much as you can, as much as your state of being will allow, as you're pushing that envelope, pushing it further, allow yourself to see perfection. It's kind of hard to do when you wake up in the morning and maybe your hair's a little mussed and you have bad breath, or you're just like, ugh, you feel like you have a hangover without even drinking. To just say, you know what, in this space, I am human, experiencing life, experiencing what it feels like to wake up and to revive the bodily functions and to be alive and here on this planet, doing the work of consciousness, doing the work of ascension that not a lot of people like to engage in because they're afraid of what they're going to find. They're afraid of what they're going to see. And when it comes down to it, you're standing in front of a big mirror, looking at all the details of yourself, which are perfection. So we're going to talk about birthdays a little bit as an example. Do you know that you are absolute perfection? What it took to even create you, what it took to even bring you here was a miracle. Okay, because it happens every day doesn't mean it's less of a miracle. What it takes to bring you here, to house you perfectly in the way that you were housed, to have all the components working to house your soul, your spirit, to get everything that you need to be born in the circumstances, to everything, your whole story. It's absolute perfection. It's a miracle. So once we start to see our lives that way, we come from a different space of empowerment. We come from a different space where we don't allow outside circumstances or stories to affect what we inwardly know, why we're here, what our purpose is. And we may not know in detail, and maybe the earth hasn't created a reference for what you're doing. But be guided to what you're doing, regardless of whether there is reference or not. Your soul knows the way, and it's something you need to trust. So I will phrase that again. Maybe what you're supposed to create hasn't been created yet. And so the references will not really be there. But go ahead and do it anyway. I believe in you. So I'm going to pull some cards from my Whisperings of the New Moon deck. Right now, it is out of stock. I'm working on, actually, at the end of the month, putting in a new order, getting it in stock. So if that's something that you would love to have of your own, you can go over to oneascension.com under products, and it's there. So at least that you can find it there once I put the order in. So I'm going to pull a card, a theme for you to focus on, for me to focus on, for all of us together, something that will shift perspective, understanding, because there's always something to see. There's always something that we may have missed. And that's what I love about shifting perspective. There may be things that we may have missed, We can't possibly know every facet, every aspect of what we're going into. That is the journey, right? So let's see. One thing that just happens, I got 2 cards. 3 cards. You ready? First card. Be free to change your mind. Huge. Huge. A lot of people believe that once you commit to something, that's it. You're committed and that's it. That's it. And you have to see it all the way done. Be free to change your mind. And then feel free to change your mind again if it's not resonating. Okay. So feel free to change your mind. Next card is magic happens when you allow it in your life. How many of you are allowing the magic in your life? How many of you are really allowing magic to work for you? And the last one, everything has beauty if you are willing to see it. Everything, 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 even the most harrowing, painful, regretful, remorseful, ugly, everything that we would even call ugly has beauty. If you allow yourself and you're willing to see it, if you allow yourself to see it. We come from all different stories, backgrounds, everything. But in those stories, we connect. In those stories, we relate. In those stories, we find our power. We remember. I'm under the belief that your story doesn't make you who you are. Your story helps you to remember who you already are. Okay. That's a huge thing, right? So this month, I really want you to give yourself permission to see yourself as perfection and not tongue in cheek, like, yeah, okay, I'm perfect. No, really, really, really work this. This is something that is a powerful, if anything that you take from these rituals that I do for you, that I do for me, that we do together, that is see yourself as perfect. See yourself as absolute perfection, not working to be, not honing. No. And it's just about you remembering. So sometimes to remember that means you have to let go of all the things that contradict that or discount that, because those things are conditioned. They are not truth. They are teachings that you picked up along the line somewhere. Okay. So a day that we would say that we would call a bad day, a day maybe where you yelled too much, or you got angry, or got frustrated, or you felt sad, or whatever emotion comes up, even that day is perfection, because in those moments we can become clear about what we don't want, or we can become clear about boundaries. There's always something to be said about emotion and why we experience it. So coming from a different perspective of how things serve you, coming from perspective of, in even the most ugliest of situations, there's beauty there. We can clarify our perspective. We can start to shift our understanding. And what we do when we do that is we give that momentum and energy to the hive mind, right? The collective consciousness. And in doing that, we raise the vibration of not only ourselves, but the planet. So sometimes it's radical to believe in something and do something that hasn't been done or believed in yet. It starts now. It starts now. Jamie, yes. Yes, you needed to release. So Jamie says that she snapped at someone today, but it was perfect and she felt bad. The bad part wasn't necessarily the snapping, like you said, because it needed to be released. It was the fact that that doesn't resonate with your natural state of being. So understand that when we feel bad, when we feel guilt is a taught emotion. It isn't because it is our true state of being. Guilt is conditioned because usually it happens when we didn't do something or follow somebody's expectation. It doesn't necessarily mean that it is something that we really wanted to be part of. It was usually an expectation put on us, and that's what guilt is. It's conditioned. But when we feel sad, when we feel like bad about something, that is because that's not our natural state of being. So it's a nice little bell ringer to say, hey, I don't like feeling like that. So what brought me to that state of feeling? And from there, you can shift things. You're welcome, Vuki76. So welcome. We are going to go into some deep things in the sisterhood this year, the Shakti Spiral Sisterhood. I would love for you to be part of our group if you are not yet. You can go on to oneascension.com. And on there, under the sisterhood, is a lot of information that you need to sign up for the monthly membership. I try to keep it very reasonable because I want our group to grow. I want to share and serve as much as I can. This year, I'm going to be focusing on a lot there. A lot of things are going to be shifting. So I would love to connect more with you intimately there. And there are so many beautiful, beautiful people in the sisterhood. It's open to both men and women. We use the word sisterhood because we're proclaiming something of that patriarchal nature, and we're using sisterhood in the way that brotherhood is used. So we would love for you to be there. If you feel guided, I would love to see you. I'd love to see your smiley face. And if you need more information, you can always connect with me at Shakti at oneascension.com. So my email is Shakti at oneascension.com. Okay. So just go ahead now and just close your eyes and give yourself just a moment of breath, feeling your breath, feeling this miracle of your life. You are here, and I witness you. I witness your life, and know that you are here for the fact that you are hearing these words meant that they are meant for you. Okay. So with our eyes closed, our heart chakras fully open, let's extend love and support to each one in our circle, watching live and watching later on, that they will all have the courage, we will all have the support and the courage to stand in our truth, to walk our path, even if it feels like we're walking alone, and to do what we need to do to answer our soul's calling. Sending witness of we see you, a witness of you are loved and held. Sending the All Mother's love to each one in this circle. Feel that energy now. We thank the beloved All Mother, Great Spirit, God in her many forms. We thank our ancestors, the wise ones, for keeping us safe and protected this evening as we did this work. Thank you for being here. We thank the Divine One energy for surrounding us and protecting us and solidifying what we need to know, clarifying what we already know. To the direction of the north, element of earth, thank you for being part of our circle. To the direction of the west, element of water, thank you for being part of our circle. To the direction of the south, element of fire, thank you for being part of our circle. And to the direction of the east, element of air, thank you for being part of our circle. Again, sending one last blessing and deep appreciation to each one of you. As you release now through your right side, this beautiful spiral energy, watching it uncoil, winding around counterclockwise now, around and around until you find that energy coming back to you on your left side, raising your hands for the beautiful blessing of the Divine One energy to shower over you, to cleanse your fields of any sticky, any residual energy. We now send down to Pachamama, Mother Gaia, and her many beautiful names, Pachamama, Mother Earth, Mother Nature, sending down to her core any energy that we don't need from this evening, grounding ourselves. Remember to eat if you need to tonight. Grounding your energy now into this beautiful earth we are all connected to. We all call this place home, so we share a beautiful home with one another. So glorious to think in those terms. Okay. And as we say, Aho, I send blessings. It is done, it is done, it is done, and so it is. My love to each and every one of you. Please connect with me on Facebook at the New Moon. We have a New Moon group for the Shakti Spiral New Moon Rituals. That's on Facebook. That is free. Now the membership is the Shakti Spiral Sisterhood. Would love to see you there. All of the information can be found on oneascension.com. Like and love, and share some hellos on the One Ascension page on Facebook. Would love to see you there as well. So much love. Thank you all for being part of this beautiful gathering this evening. Mwah. Have a wonderful rest of your day, evening, wherever you are. So much love. Good night.